so I'm working on getting the 100% completion on every Call of Duty there is. And for today, we've possibly got the worst one they've ever made. Now this platinum has a bit of everything. A zombies grind, a little bit of multiplayer, and of course we got the campaign to start off with. And right when we spawn in, we don't get much information, other than we're on a train in Hamburg, 1945, and we have to fight our way through to the front, which is how we'll get our first 2 trophies. The first is Beware of Trains, for shooting a truck driver with a vehicle full of soldiers, just like so. And this one took me a bit longer and a few respawns to get. It's for killing 15 enemies off the roof of the train, and doing it on veteran definitely wasn't the play, but eventually after many respawns and lots of shooting, here it is. Now our plan to take over the train doesn't go so well, and we end up being the ones captured. And after a nice little smack to keep the mind fresh, we end up meeting all of our main characters. We've got Richard, we have a Paulina, a Lucas, and finally a Arthur, which is who we'll be playing as in the next flashback to a year prior. And after probably the sickest plane jump scene I've ever seen here, I mean, come on, gotta give them credit for this one. But once we land, we work towards our next trophy called Shot Caller. So each character has a different specialty, I guess you could say. And as Arthur, you're able to command allies to do things like push or hold or attack, and once I do that 15 times, it pops up. Hey, Shot Caller. Also, a few moments later, I got this. We're just scavenging 3 corpses for some ammo. But towards the end of the level, we end up exploring in some dark tunnels, and thanks to my absolutely mint reflexes, I threw back this grenade and got this. Then once we make our way back out, we end up regrouping with the team to go charge this base, which is where I decided to throw a smoke to cover us, and it popped this up. But after the siege is over, we switch over to Paulina for the first time, and we have the tedious mission of carrying a box of wine through the town. And the worst part of all, we don't even get to drink any. Well, I guess it isn't worse than the whole town being bombed right after that. I guess that's probably the worst part. But after we sneak through the smoldering town, we end up coming across the enemies all in this building, which was pretty damn painful to do on veteran. But I found out that Paulina's special ability is to use crawl spaces, so I took good advantage of that, hiding under desks to get through. And I ended up getting 2 trophies in a row here. This one for getting kills with 15 different weapons, and then this one for using her special to get 15 kills while in crawl spaces. But eventually her team ends up saving our ass, and we head off to the roof to hold the enemies back. And here is where I have a chance for another trophy. All I had to do was hit a truck with a Molotov. And then finally I had to finish this whole last part of the mission without missing a single shot. And luckily I'm a pro sniper because I didn't miss a single one on my first try. Well, and the help of the unlimited Molotovs box beside me. Yeah, I got it. Legend in the making. Oh, now there's also one other main character I didn't mention before. Wade Jackson. And I didn't mention him yet because the first time we play as him is the mission with the most painful trophy in the entire game. Beating the whole campaign on veteran has nothing on this single one. I mean, the mission in general is pretty cool. You get to take off from a carrier, fly straight into some dogfights shooting down enemy planes, which also got me a trophy for saving 5 allies from a dogfight. But the painful one is here. You have to fly straight down with the plane all the way to the ground to be able to progress. And well, just even doing that is hard. But for the trophy, you have to do it without getting hit by a single shot. And well, you can see how easy it is to get hit. And after way too long of trying, I beat the level and came back on recruit. And even then, I was here for a full hour non-stop flying down over and over again, just getting hit every single time. The bullets are impossible to dodge and complete RNG. It's some bullshit. But here's my lucky final run. Yes, I did it. Oh my god. Oh, just over an hour that took me. What a stupid game. Holy shit. And after that, we end up crash landing in the jungle and have to find our bro. And I also had to make it to him without firing a single shot, which I mean, I didn't even have a gun, so I got that easily. But the next one was also fairly annoying. I mean, nowhere near the plain one, but I had to sneak my way through all the grass to kill the sniper without getting hit, which was a fair bit of trial and error to make it there. Just kept restarting to find the path. But once I did, I get this. Now Wade's ability is called Heightened Senses, which lets you see enemies through walls and that. But I had to use it to kill yet again 15 enemies while it's active to get this. But my next trophy wasn't for another mission in some way. Right off the bat, I had to use my sniping skills again to take out 5 of the enemies before they could even hit me. And upon doing it successfully, I got this. It is Bird of Prey. Now next up was another terrible one that took me almost an hour. There's this stealth part where you have to get through the whole warehouse, but for the trophy I had to also kill every single enemy with a takedown through like 5 different floors and waves of enemies. I mean, luckily there was checkpoints in between, but being the idiot I am, I decided to do it on veteran and was hiding in the vents trying to not get killed and running around like crazy, because if they spot you, you can't do takedowns until they cool down. And I mean, there was super soldier enemies and it was an absolute mess. But here's here's my reaction to finally getting it done. Oh my god, I got it behind you. It took an hour and 48 minutes. Now after that, we had a more chill mission as Lucas, thankfully. And I mean, I'd really like to say the first trophy I got here was on purpose, but I'm just a complete idiot and cooked this grenade way too long to get this. A trophy named F. How great for me. But continuing through there, we fought our way through and ended up laying low. So low that I stealthed my way through the whole thing to get this trophy. But eventually the battle picked up and I was able to use Lucas's special ability, which is being able to hold multiple types of grenades. And after getting 3 kills with each, I got this. And towards the end of the mission, I got yet another 2 trophies. One for just getting 15 hipfire kills, and then the other was for getting a rocket launcher off a specific enemy and having to shoot down this really fast plane that just flies by. Luckily, there was an ammo box beside me though, and after a nice handful of misses, it finally happened. But moving into the next mission, everyone was just being bros having some drinks on the back of a tank, when all of a sudden we get blown up. And I think I may have had one too many, because I ended up getting squished by a tank. But luckily it got me this trophy. Now this level ends up getting pretty intense in the end, and it ends up being just 2 of us left fighting off non-stop waves of enemies. I had to get twice as many kills as the other guy, and I mean it was a Call of Duty teammate, so it wasn't that hard to get it. And then to finish off the campaign, we end up in a crazy car chase hunting down the enemy, but we eventually crash and have to fight through on foot, which is where I got this for using the commands on an enemy. But once we get back above ground, all there is to do is fight through the last of the enemies to make our way in the building. Oh, and get one more trophy along the way for throwing back 15 grenades. Great timing, right? Right before the end of the game. But they end up trying to escape and we chase them through the plane strip, where we finally catch up to him to give him the barbecue he deserves. But I get a handful of trophies now. The first for beating the level without any friendly fire, which is kind of weird for a trophy. But then I get the other 2 for beating the campaign and beating it on veteran. And finally one for watching the whole credits to completion. And there's only one single campaign trophy I missed, for bashing through walls. And it probably has the best trophy name ever. And so now it's time for the zombies grind. And right off the rip, for the easiest trophy, all I had to do was join a random clan. And I decided House of Stupid was the perfect fit. But since I was waiting for my buddy to hop on, I decided to jump into a game and check it out, and just get the hang of things to see how much they changed up the zombies. Well, it's safe to say this zombies is beyond easy to play. My first game ended up lasting 2 hours with randoms. And I also ended up getting 3 trophies here as well. The first one I got is when I got trapped in this corner and had to use my special ability, and that's how I ended up killing my 10th zombie with it, for this. And after a couple teleport missions or whatever they are, I had enough to equip 3 upgrades to get my next one. And the third one popped when I had finally gotten my 5th perk, which in this case was Speed Cola, or whatever they call it here. There we go, another trophy, Thirst Quencher. But eventually my team died out and left me all alone to die. But it was a perfect time because my buddy Sunsize had just gotten on and was ready to grind out the rest of this platinum with me, which includes killing a total of 10,000 zombies. So we hopped into our first game to start grinding. That's hilarious. You got my fucking my name in your clan tag.
Yeah, no, I had to put it on. I figured it'd be funny.
I also went for my next trophy, where we had to train a bunch of zombies and then use the fire artifact and kill 10 enemies while it's active, just like this.
Subsetter.
Now it didn't take long for us to figure out the most optimal routes and how to upgrade all the perks and Pack-a-Punch. It was all pretty straightforward and really easy. But after doing the next bunch of missions, I had a total of 13 hearts to spend on upgrades to finally get my next trophy, Baker's Dozen. Then after that I decided to switch my artifact over to Frost Blast to get that trophy, which was a little bit annoying to get since I'd only get a few each time. And then we'd have to train zombies so I could get enough kills to get it back, but after a couple times, here's the final kill. So sadly this zombies doesn't have any Easter eggs or anything fun like that. Lame. It's just grind, 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 which is what time it is now. So we found the best spot to do it, which was right here in good old Shinonuma during one of these survive missions. If you just camped here and never left, the zombies started getting crazy, amounting to a lot of kills non-stop. But there was only one more artifact trophy I had to get here as well. Aether Shroud. I had to get below 25% health and use it 5 different times, which was pretty sketchy, but I did eventually get it here. Let's go, finally. And after completing that game, I had gotten to level 36, but my next trophy wouldn't pop until level 55, so there was a lot of Shinonuma zombie killing ahead of us. 3 hours to be exact until I had finally gotten it, right about here. Oh, elite skills. What is that for? I just got a gold trophy.
Elite skills.
Reach level 55. Let's go. Now the next thing I had to fully level up was my gun, which wasn't too far away from max. The double XP I got from beating the campaign really helped with these two. So after about another 45 minutes of killing, I had finally maxed out the weapon I've been using since the very beginning. There we go. Bling Pro 2.0. Finally, man. Let's go.
Let's go. That's what I like to see.
And yet another one I had been going towards the whole time was for 2,500 kills with a Pack-a-Punch level 3, which was literally within 10 minutes of the last one. Great timing. Now it was just another full hour of sitting in this exact same spot non-stop shooting. And I mean non-stop. If we stopped for 1 second, we were screwed. So we had to always be paying attention, racking up the kills. Well, me mostly. This dope guy decided to sit behind me and let me get all the kills while he only killed when I needed help. So shout out to Sunsize. But many bullets later, it finally happened. Oh my god, Grim Reaper, I got it. 10,000 fucking kills. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, man.
We can finally stop playing the...
And my total kill count for that one single game ended up being 5,500. Absolutely wild. And now finally on to the very last trophy for the platinum, which, believe it or not, is the biggest grind that I've been working towards this whole time. My operator has a max level of 20, and it takes a very long time to level them up. Even after all that, I was only at level 15. And there's no operator double XP either, so all there was to do was just grind. And I was pretty sick of zombies at this point, so we hopped over to multiplayer to check that out a bit. And well, we mostly just got shit on the whole time from all the people still playing this shitty game. We were just getting terribly spawn trapped, so that didn't last very long. And after a while of grinding that and just dying over and over, but by this time it was super late and we both got off, leaving it for the next day. So shout out to Sunsize for helping me get this, because it would have been terrible to play through alone. His YouTube channel is in the description as well if you want to check it out. But the next morning I hopped on by myself and started grinding out the rest of this XP. I was going pretty crazy on multiplayer even for a bit. I guess it's just better to play in the morning maybe. But after getting bored of that, I jumped over to zombies for a while and grinded out a crazy 3-kill game solo and had over $200,000. But I eventually got bored of that again and hopped out to realize I was half a level away. So multiplayer it was for the last bit of the grind until I finally had enough XP and this happened. There it is, top of the mountain. Let's go. Top of the mountain, finally level 20 with the character. And the platinum, the birth of special forces. Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And let me know in the comments which Call of Duty you want to see me complete next. Or maybe even check out another Call of Duty video right here. Thank you for watching and have a good day.